Leave it to Kingdom to make the countdown into the glorious thing ever. It's nothing like a nighttime of relaxation after the massacre of the day. It was given that Kingdom would go into resting session after an amazing triumphant stand against all odds from Hishin unit. Of course, that will only mean that the plans for the next day or so will bring in something worse than what they already gone through. It was a downtime chapter that you came to expect when the night hour hits. Though it ends with worrisome news. One of the greatest strengths of the series is horror doesn't let you be deceived on how immortal these characters are. From Shin and Kyokai to lieutenants and soldiers, all of them are still human more or less since Kyokai is included, and if the battle tires them out, they will be out of commission. The battle clearly took the wind out of them, spiritually included. It's sad how some got to rest after an intense battle, but there are plenty of them that slowly die out. The view shot with everyone looking after the bodies was depressing. Their words made it worse for this scene. Horror has been utilizing these rookies very well so far and make them for all their worth. Kanto and others' reaction are genuinely sad because it's natural for them to break down into tears and hug like they are so glad none of them has died. Yet at the same time, sad that they lost so many friends. It is sad that the list of named rookies keeps decreasing more and more. This would have happened with the veterans as it would come out unnatural to act like an experienced guy. The more you grow, the more your emotion is self-constrained. That said, it doesn't mean they will ignore the hardship like it's your everyday routine. 10 has to organize the list of survivors and deaths to strategize for the next day. It just keeps on piling up. It's funny that someone actually calls Bihei out for playing dead in the battle, which was true. Sadly, Cole is not only tired but caught a bad fever, which reminds the audience that the price is severe. Some are trying to regain stamina, but no doubt they are exhausted. It doesn't help that the top two commanders are in a similar position. The conversation between Kyokai and Shin is pretty relaxing and somewhat charming. I always find their relationship to be a great mix of friends, sibling-like, and master and student bond. This was a really nice treat to see them interact again after so long. And it's not without Shin literally crawl his way to meet Kyokai in her tent, because that's how banged up he really is. Can you imagine him crawl his way to fight against Gyo-on? That will be an amazing battle to see. It's rather rare for Shin to be sincere about the action he sent her to take. At least he learned about her great achievements to withstand the field by exploiting a crazy plan to split apart literally, so that's good to know. Even so, Shin actually felt sorry for sending her there and got her in a tiring state. He was really worried about her taking the task. How touching. Plus, he does want to talk for a bit since, well, they are done for the day, might as well have a chit chat. He does admit that Gyo-on is a serious challenger, so at least his head is in check. It's funny how Kyokai always has action that could be mistaken for romance or anything that could take it in the wrong way. For example, she asks Shin for his hand, and she grasps it like they are lovers or maybe ready to mate. That got Shin confused and embarrassed. I think he jumped the gun to think they are about to do it. Of course, Kyokai breaks the unintentional atmosphere when she finally speaks of the technique to pass down the good luck charm by holding hands. It almost sounds like a friend zone moment if you ask me. Whatever it wasn't what Shin or fans in general had in mind. Sorry, Shin. Maybe next time. It does jump back to reality once Kyokai reminds him that things are about to get a lot worse, and they are already in a rough shape. It has gotten to the point that they have to go out there and use every tiny ounce of strength to fight, enough to see the death door. That is pretty extreme, but it has to be done. It does cloud my mind with fear on potential long-term characters' death, and it will only grow worse from the Zhao side of discussion. Despite how I want Gyo-on get his ass kicked by Shin, I do like him as an opposing threat. He may have act overly confident at the first match, but he doesn't dwell on it and accept his opponents to be worthy foes. It's great to have someone like him that isn't Rebecca, that has wise vision of where the country stands, and he is not your typical muscle-bound guy that is so strong and that's it. He is wise enough to know the potential threat the Chin's current men can oppose, not just today, but so does the future. It's amazing that Gyo-on, the man who is deemed as a serious threat, compliments more or less to the current standing of Chin and the military. He practically hyped and acknowledged men like Shin, Kyokai, Osen, and so on to be the growing breed of the future 6 great generals. The only problem I have with his great speech is that he was ignoring Heki. That part bothered me a lot. The only troubling part I have is he more or less insinuates that they have to kill them off before they mature, which sounds to me that this arc will kill someone off. It could be a red herring or overthinking on my end, but it does sound like that's what it's setting up for. I hope I'm wrong. It's obvious now that Gyo-on and others won't underestimate their opponent's capability, and that's already alarming. To make matters worse, Hara intentionally wrote this chapter to be the problematic view of his Shin unit tiring out, and it also implied that Chin is also in a tight spot to preserve resources. What accumulates is Rebecca, ready to drop the news on Chin's death clock. The growing fear of breaking news never felt so frightening since the USA election 2016. Yep, I said it. Anyway, the build-up is to learn the time length of how long Gyo's resources will last. I shouldn't remind this, but Gyo remains to be crucial for Zhao for the resources they need to keep on going. The new detail, however, said that Chin actually only have 10 days left before it is all gone, which is safe to say that we got ourselves a time limit. Hooray! We can keep on track on the days as well as grow fear from it. Why? Because once they hit the 10 days and when they ran out, they're screwed. It reminds me of the correlation war with the time limit before Mountain Tribe comes to the rescue. Only this time, they must win before the day arrives. The worst news is Rebecca has announced that Gyo has enough resources to last them for 20 days, double the amount of Chin's days. Oh dear. It will be astonishing if Conky is the one to send that news so they can't fall for a trap. I don't think that would be the case because that would be too easy for Rebecca to fall for something like that. That said, I do believe this will transition to Conky and his men in the next chapter, or at least very soon. It's about time for him to take action and perhaps cause a stir that will shorten the lane for Zhao. We have to wait and see. It was an interesting cooldown chapter. Despite the depressing beginning that was conveyed really good, it has a nice moment with Kyokai and Shin settling down as a swell companion. Gyo-on continues to be impressive with his wise outlook of the future threats, which could be a warning for characters. Lastly, the news from Rebecca creates an unsettling tension for the next couple of battles. And it's all because we have a time limit. Damn those time limits. This is why I've removed them in video games. And that will do it for the review. I hope you enjoyed this one. Seriously, why you had to exclude Heki? He's the best candidate for the general. Yeah, I know he lost the resources, he caused more men lose their lives. I understand that, but that's just a simple mistake. Everyone makes mistakes, right? Come on. Shin make mistakes, Moten make mistakes, even Osen makes mistakes. Give a Heki a break. Unless the build-up is that Gyo-on will be defeated by Heki. Yes, I know he's in the other side, but maybe he would travel all the way there to go against him. Won't that be amazing? That would be amazing. Share your thoughts in the comment. If you like this and want more of this, subscribe to my channel, and my world will be yours to stay. Until next time, take care.